I'm Jadea Murray, and here on a positive note, we highlight the most heartwarming stories from all around our tri-state that move and inspire us. And we begin with a group of shoe shiners who are doing much more than just polishing loafers. They're using the craft to rebuild. Kevin Tui is a man on a mission to help everyone he meets put their best foot forward.
Hi there, I'm Kevin Tui. I'm the founding partner of the Shoe Shine Guild.
His job is to make sure clients look their best, but Kevin also strives to make sure his employees feel their best. That's because several of the shoe shiners share a common bond.
I got sober 3 months after I turned 21.
They're recovering alcoholics.
I'm a recovered alcoholic. I've been sober 31 years, and I ended up meeting someone in a 12-step program who is also sober and happened to be a shoe shiner. I was between jobs, and I asked him if they were hiring.
And they were. Kevin eventually started his own shoe shine guild after finding sobriety. He says the job helped him build self-esteem and stay focused. Because of that, he cherishes the relationships he builds with his employees.
It's like family, right? Like you can fight with your sisters and brothers, you can fight with your mom and dad, but you're kind of stuck with them, and you have to work it out, right?
And one of the newest family members, Juliet Zakarian, a 23-year-old college student who stumbled upon the Shoe Shine Guild and fell in love with the craft.
Seeing the example of Kevin, somebody who's living sobriety, embracing sobriety, and sharing sobriety, like it's really important to me.
Another mission of the Shoe Shine Guild is female empowerment.
You know, it's important to me because, you know, women help me a lot in my sobriety. My sister was the first one to take me to my first 12-step meeting, and a lot of the women in my group, they literally saved the business.
Not only were they there to fill in wherever he lacked, but they were there to fill in when he had to take a break.
Well, 2 weeks after 9/11, I went back in the military after 17 years of being out. And so I left my two partners, Rachel and Megan, in charge. You know, I got to come back with a renewed vigor, you know, that I didn't have before.
Now he has 30 employees and 3 stores around the world.
We're in New York, San Francisco, and Osaka, Japan.
For Kevin, every customer is an opportunity to make a grand impression. But sometimes it's the customers who make an impression on him.
One of my customers was a Navy SEAL, and he was like one of my great mentors. And he used to terrify me because he used to show up at the shoe shine stand with shiny shoes. You know, when someone shows up to the stand with dirty shoes, it's easy, because you know, like they can't look any worse. But he showed me how to make his shoes even shinier. He like raised the bar for me on my own shoe shine game.
Kevin says what he does is an art, and it begins with second chances, making connections, and a pair of dirty shoes. Kevin and Julia were a lot of fun to hang out with. 10 out of 10 would definitely recommend giving them a visit in Chelsea Market next time you get a chance. Now, in other news, Westchester Hospital is in the spotlight for helping a young Israeli girl heal, and now she'll soon be heading home.
2, 3. Beautiful.
An avid tennis player, it's been nearly 9 months since 11-year-old Michal Lavi has been able to pick up a racket.
Beautiful. You want to do backhand?
That's because the young Israeli girl has had to relearn basic motor skills.
Oh, that's beautiful.
Through intensive physical, speech, and occupational therapy at Blythedale Childrens Hospital in Valhalla.
Get over there, get over there, get over there. Nice.
This after suffering a stroke and undergoing a heart transplant surgery at a Manhattan hospital. But after 2 months at Blythedale, Michal and her family are packing up and leaving. It's a day they've been looking forward to.
I remember seeing other patients living and feel it in the heart like I want to live too. And finally, it's our moment, and I'm so excited.
Doctors say the young tennis player has come a long way.
She came here weak, deconditioned following her heart transplant and a stroke, and she has made tremendous progress.
Born with a rare heart defect, Michal was implanted with a pacemaker when she was just 5 years old. For still unknown reasons, the device failed back in May. The family flew to the U.S. for a heart transplant surgery. They got the good news that a heart had been found on the Jewish holiday, Rosh Hashanah.
It's like new beginning, And for us, it's a new birthday for Michal. And
So I have two birthdays.
exactly.
A young girl and her family getting a second chance at life.
She's a hero. I adore her.
Well, as soon as they get the okay from doctors, the family says they'll be able to return to Israel with their healthy girl. Martin Luther King Jr. once said, and I quote, "Only in the darkness can you see the stars." And this next story reminds me of how true that is. This is Eileen Deanna from New York. You wouldn't believe it looking at her now, but she once had a rare and inoperable cancer of her sinuses.
It's called sinonasal undifferentiated carcinoma, also known as SNUC. It was a very aggressive and very hard to treat cancer.
But after 7 weeks of radiation and chemo, doctors were finally able to go in and remove the mass, and now 2 years later, she's living cancer-free. And Deanna isn't taking this second chance at life for granted. She's paying it forward and has partnered with the American Cancer Society's Road to Recovery program. Now, she gives cancer patients rides to their treatments.
I'm much stronger for it. I think, it made me a different person, made me realize what's important.
And Deanna says they're always looking for volunteer drivers, so if you're feeling motivated now to lend a helping hand, you can always reach out to the American Cancer Society. Now we head to New Jersey, where a high school student just got the chance of a lifetime, and it's all thanks to a class project involving music legends Hall & Oates.
I was really surprised. I wasn't expecting it.
For Glen Rock sophomore Iris Chung, she had no idea a few clicks on a mouse would make her advanced graphic art class project the backdrop for one of the biggest musical duos in history. One of her fellow students' parents works for the agency that represents Daryl Hall and John Oates. They had turned down several poster designs by professional designers for their upcoming concert tour. In other words, saying,
as a, kind of a joking remark, my student's father said, I bet one of my, daughter's classes could do a better job. And apparently they liked the idea, so we went with it. We actually spent the class critiquing them and saying what was wrong with them. It was great because all 11 students really, participated in that and saw what was wrong with those designs.
Though the class was born in the early 2000s, you could say they were definitely not out of touch with the assignment.
Before this project, I had no idea who Hall & Oates were. So we researched their songs, what kind of instruments they played, and yeah, I kind of incorporated that into my project.
Out of her whole entire class, Iris's design was handpicked by Hall & Oates in just 20 minutes.
Okay, so tell me about the blue. There's a lot of blue here.
So basically, when I think of New York City, I think blue. And at first I wanted to go with a retro kind of look, but then I sort of modified and adjusted it to make it look more modern. Like literally say New York City, Madison Square Garden.
The advanced graphic arts class specializes in client-based work, with previous designs being created for pizza restaurants and school teams.
Fill the entire triangle.
This contest giving students a little more art appreciation and real-world experience that they can apply in their future.
Nothing on this type of scale. And I think I just set the bar a little higher than I'm ever going to jump again.
Well, enjoy the concert, girl, and always remember that hard work does pay off. And you know what that sound means? It's time for a feel-good fact. And this one is about sweets, L-O-V-E, love. What's everyone's go-to gift on Valentine's Day? A bouquet of red roses and a box of chocolates, right? Well, the very first heart-shaped box of chocolates was introduced in 1861 by a man named Richard Cadbury, as in son of John Cadbury, who founded Cadbury Chocolates. The heart-shaped box made its debut on Valentine's Day that year, and today more than 36 million of them are sold each year. Guys, that's 58 million pounds of delicious chocolate that people are sending their sweeties every single year. And that, ladies and gentlemen, was your feel-good fact. That fact leaves me famished, so it's a perfect time to take you to 3 restaurants around our tri-state that were just recognized by Food Network. According to the channel, these places have the best burritos in the country. Let's dig in. Welcome to Wappingers Falls, New York, home of Mexicali Blue. The restaurant Food Network says has a burrito with a bite to remember. It's the braised short rib burrito. The meat is butchered in-house and cooked in Modelo Negra beer with herbs and spices for 7 hours straight. Then add some fresh toppings, a little coleslaw, and drown it in hot sauce, and you got yourself a winner. Also on that mouth-watering list is Connecticut's Geronimo Tequila Bar and Southwest Grill that only uses 100% authentic Southwestern ingredients. And the wet burrito con rojo from Brooklyn-based Rocco's Tacos and Tequila Bar, smothered in cotija cheese and salsa rojo.